My name's Brennock. I've been associated with the Newcastle Business Club since early 2012, on the committee 2014 to 2017, and I was fortunate enough to be president in 2015. Okay, so the most notable speaker the year I was president, 2015, was John Howard, former Prime Minister. We decided that we needed to be bold in terms of getting numbers up and recognition of the club's function. It's a speakers forum around business and politics, more so than sport or pop culture. So we thought, who was probably the premier business, finance, political speaker around, and that was John Howard. He was exceptional. He spoke to an audience of 340, which I believe is the biggest audience the Newcastle Business Club has ever had. He spoke for 45 minutes without any prompting cards. He had the audience in the palm of his hand, whether they voted for him or not, and I didn't. But what was impressive was his ability to talk through his career and add commentary on current politics with an abandon, because he's not involved in it anymore. And that was really refreshing, because there was no political talk. He accomplished some major things in his terms, revolutionising gun control in Australia, implementing the GST, which wouldn't have been an easy task. So it was really enjoyable to listen to him speak, and I got the opportunity to interview him for 45 minutes in front of that crowd after his speech, and it was a professional and personal highlight because of the challenge and because of the barriers I was breaking down internally in terms of talking to such a character in front of a room full of characters. So, it was a proud moment. Part of what I really enjoyed with my association in the club is, of course, networking with like-minded peers in Newcastle, be that professional service professionals from my sector or not. I made good connections as friends, as well as business connections through the club. What I like about the style of the club is that it encourages nurturing relationships as opposed to transactional quick ones. It's not a forum where you swap business cards with as many people as you can. It's about becoming familiar with the same faces month in, month out, whilst enjoying an amazing meal in a nice location, listening to hopefully and usually something quite encouraging and relevant to our own professional development. And that's what I really like, seeing familiar faces each month, checking in with everyone's business and having them check in with mine. I think it creates really genuine relationships amongst the members. So in my endeavour to maximise the benefits of the club members and the membership of the club, I kept that in mind. So I didn't want to change any format. I think whilst there may have been little rumblings of speak around ideas on that, I thought it worked quite well. I thought the speakers needed to stay relevant, to stay relevant so people would attend the club functions. And I think I did that by bringing it back to a business and political arena. Yeah. So I was fortunate enough to be introduced to the club by Anna Bailey. She suggested I come along. It was part of I would say, a new wave of younger professionals interested in the club at the start of 2012. I learnt that my boss, Paul Hankinson, at the time, the director of Forsyth Recruitment, was a past president as well. So that was, I think, a proud moment for him when I became president as an employee of his at the time. It gave me the opportunity to work with a great committee. When I came onto the committee, Tira Manning was the president, and I really enjoyed, it was my first taste of working on a committee like that. So working out the dynamics of different people with different motivations, with different levels of responsibility and different levels of commitment to the club. So it gave me a great insight in terms of group dynamics and politics, and how to get the best out of a board and retain the focus of the club's membership as opposed to anything else. So another enjoyable and notable lunch speaker during my year as president was Lisa Wilkinson. So why we saw her as relevant, she is a media dynamo. She has been involved in publishing since the age of 19 or so. She is kind of unpaired in regards to achievements in media, and we also thought that she would open up the Newcastle Business Club to a different demographic that would not normally turn up to our luncheons. Again, it was over 300 guests at the Newcastle Town Hall. She was a definite highlight of the year. She was a bright ray of sunshine on the club and provided great insight into a work-life balance, whilst being humorous, sweet, the lovable character we see on television. That's what she genuinely was. But yeah, it was an exciting speaker to bring to Newcastle. A focus of mine in coming into my year as president, firstly I thought, what the hell are they asking me to be president for? I realised it was to be bold and to ensure that the club stayed relevant, knowing that I recognised the importance of tradition. And that's part of my attraction to the club, is the tradition. So I thought it vital that we kept a lot of aspects of what we do, how we do it, and why we do it. But there was also opportunity there to freshen it up, to scream its name from the top of the hill. I think we did that. I think we did it really well. I think at the end of my year, the membership looked very different, but was equally relevant, if not more relevant, than when I started. So I really enjoyed reminding people of the relevance of such an old and traditional club.
Visit www.newcastlebusinessclub.com.au to learn more.